This is the test review for Unit 2, Part A. In this section of Unit 2, we are focusing on combining like terms, distributive property, and finding the quotient, which is dividing polynomials. In this first section, which looks very much like your test, there will be no multiple choice. So what you need to do is try to do these on your own, and then check the video to see if you're doing them right. I'm writing some notes at the very top. When we do combining like terms, we are doing PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. When we do multiply, divide, we're looking at the rainbows. And when we do add, subtract, we're looking at combining like terms with our circles, boxes, and our triangles so that we can put like terms together. So these are the steps we're going to be focusing on. Number 1, can we do rainbows? No, there's no parentheses. So we're going to start putting the things that are alike together. We have x's, we have more x's, and this is not just 2x, this is negative 2x or subtract 2x. And when you look at it by itself, the subtract now turns into like a negative. We have another one right here, we have another one right here. And if you need help on Desmos, you're not going to use the x. You're just going to put in the coefficients. And in class, what we did is we stacked these so that we could see the answers. So if we have 3 x's, negative 2 x's, positive 2 x's, positive 4 x's, we're going to type in these numbers into our Desmos. So we have, let's see if you can see that. So we have 3, and then it says minus 2, and then it says plus 2, and then it says plus 4. And the answer is going to be 7, so this makes 7 x's. And if you'll notice these right here, if you wanted to do this by hand, these were 0 pairs. And so you just had 3 x's and 4 more x's, and 3 plus 4 gives you that 7. Then you go to your next group. Your next group, you have constants. Constants are plain numbers. And we just have that negative 8. And when we write that down, it looks like a subtract 8. A negative and a subtract are going to do the same things whenever you're combining like terms. Final answer is 7x minus 8. Again, the first part of the test, there is no multiple choice. The second part of the test, you will be combining like terms, and there is multiple choice there. So we're going to practice without the multiple choice. Number 2, we have negative 7 times 4 plus 2x. So we're going to have, double check again. There's nothing inside the parentheses we can work. We don't have exponents. We're going to multiply or divide, whatever comes first from left to right. And I do see multiply. When we multiply, we use parentheses and a number right in front of that. And that's going to show that we need to multiply. So we are going to do our rainbows, our distributive property. So we're going to multiply, and this is not just multiplying by 7, it's a negative 7. And anytime we go over this parenthesis, we're going to think times. So we have negative 7 times 4. And if you need help, or if you want to double check your signs, you are welcome to type it in to double check yourself. But negative 7 times 4 will give you a negative 28. And then we're going to do it again. We have another piece inside our parentheses, so we're going to do another rainbow. And we have negative 7 times 2. So again, if you need it or you want to double check your signs, you can use your Desmos. Negative 7 times 2 should give you a negative 14, and you can check yourself on your Desmos. And then this one's a little bit different because it has an x with the 2. So then we have negative 14x. Now in our answers, we might not see it in this order because it is not in the right order. We like our x's first. So we might rewrite it to do our minus 14x, and then we would put our constants after it. And so you can look for each of these pieces, but the order that you're going to see is going to be this order right here. Question number 3. In question number 3, we have making sure everything fits so that you can see it. We have 4x plus 3 plus 3, and then in parentheses 2x minus 5. So again, what we're looking for is see if we can do our distributive property using our rainbows. Yes we can. It's going to be over here. The 3 is right next to the parentheses. So that means that we are going to multiply. So every time you go across, you're going to think times. You're going to hit the multiply button. So we're going to have to do this section first. So we can recopy 4x plus 3 plus, and I'm not going to recopy this. This piece is going to be what I'm going to use for my distribution. 3 times 2. If you need that, you can come type it in over here, but you should get the answer 6. And again, if you're not sure, you're getting confused with your signs, it's always best to type it in and double check yourself. And the answer is not just 6 because that's 3 times 2x. Your answer is 6x. We're going to multiply again 3 times, and that's not just 5, it's negative 5. 3 times negative 5. If you're not sure, you can type that in on your Desmos. You should be getting a negative 15. But again, you can always double check yourself and make sure. It's better, especially whenever you're doing something for a grade or you need to be accurate, to double check yourself. So we get our negative 15. Now we're not finished because we need to combine like terms with our circles, boxes, and triangles. Do you see anything that is alike? Yes, we have x's. So we're going to put our x pieces together. I have 4 x's, and I have, and it's not just 6x, we need to know that it is a positive 6x. And if you like the stacking, 4x and 6x, and I'm going to put that plus sign in the front, that's going to tell you what you type. So on your Desmos, you're typing 4 and then a plus 6. 4 x's plus 6 more x's will give you 10 x's. Then you have another group. You have your constants. You have a positive 3 and you have a negative 15. And together, again, if you don't know what to type, you can type this in, 3 and then minus 15. If you have 3 and you take away 15, your answer is going to end up being negative because there's more negatives. And because they're different signs, you end up subtracting to get, and you can see your negative 12. And when we write negative 12, it looks kind of like subtract 12. That means the same thing. We're doing the same direction. So this is your answer for number 3. 10x minus 12.